Hey y'all, what's going on? It's BarbMeetsWorld, and we will be discussing Married to Medicine Season 12, Episode 1, the season premiere. Okay, cocktails and Polo. And before we get into all of that, y'all, you already know I need you guys to do a couple things for myself and my channel, which include liking the video because it helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm, helps me attract new subscribers such as yourself. And if you're not a current subscriber, not really sure what you're waiting on, but become a subscriber, hit that subscription button. I would love to have you. Also, let me know your thoughts on this season premiere, as well as my commentary down in the comment section. And make sure your notification bell is on so you don't miss any of my uploads. Share me with your folks and let's go. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Meant to come to you guys yesterday with it, but I unfortunately got sidetracked with some other stuff. So we're here now. I hope you guys enjoyed this season premiere. I won't say I didn't enjoy it. I did. However, I found myself, not gonna lie, I found myself a little bored because I guess I'm just used to having certain personalities on the show. And I feel like when certain personalities aren't on the show, other personalities kind of step into the forefront. And I don't know. I don't know how I felt about that. Nonetheless, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 7. I would give it a 7. Again, it wasn't horrible, but certain storylines have really dried up and don't need to be spoken about anymore, if I do say so myself. And like I said, I was missing a personality or two. And I guess I should stop just dancing around it and come out and say I was in the demographic of people that missed heavily on this premiere. I really did. I felt like with her personality not being present, that pushed Toya to almost kind of fill in those gaps and be a bigger voice in the drama of it all. And when it comes to Toya, I don't dislike her, but she's one of those people that I could take or leave. She's not really somebody who I have to have. Honestly, I probably like Eugene more than I like Toya, if I have to be frank. So it was just, I found myself starting to really feel that about at least 30 minutes in. But nonetheless, I'm still going to give it a shot. I still think they gave us a lot to talk about. So without further ado, y'all, make sure you hit the like button on your way in and let's get started. Okay, so we began with Miss Quad, and it is the day following her 44th birthday party, and she's outside by the pool, and some of the ladies that are there include Angel Love. And if you guys watch Basketball Wives back in the day, you're probably familiar with Angel. She was on for like a season or two, I guess. And although I can't remember anything groundbreaking occurring while she was on surrounding her, I will say with pure confidence that Mama is gorgeous. She always has been. Definitely throw her on my celebrity crush freaking list. That face card is just, oh my God, she's just so beautiful to me. So love to see her on the show. And I hope she continues to perform over here and really brings in some new energy. I do see that her and Quad really are friends in real life. So it's good. I think that especially with Quad being kind of on an island alone, I would say, for the last couple seasons, it is nice to see her be surrounded and be supported from a friend perspective, especially when you have the Simones of it all in the group still. So nonetheless, they're gathered around. King is still in the picture, of course. And so speaking of Simone, we find out that her and Cecil were not invited to the party. And the thing is, Simone clearly still has an issue with Quad, and Quad's like, she's over here popping up on YouTube channels wondering, whether or not I could pay off my house. And I did see that clip that was circulating around where we saw Sweet. Won't he do it? So happy that I don't have to see Sweet Tea on the show anymore. But nonetheless, she was on her channel, her and Simone, and of course they were throwing shade and had so much to say about Quad because that's all Sweet Tea ever does is just, think about Quad, in my opinion. And Simone was right there to jump in the mess with her. And I think that was a tacky comment. I think that I'm the last person that is going to just jump on a high horse and demand for people not to be friends or not to be friendly with people just because I may not be. But there's certain relationships that it's going to become a conflict of interest. And I do understand from Quad's perspective, being as though she was a person that was here on this cast first. You guys are supposed to be, my friend group and stuff like that. And not only did you bring the next wife in here, but you also are trying to oust me from the group. And now you're also having a kiki over there about things surrounding my financial situation. Absolutely not. Simone was dead ass wrong for that. And I'm not taking it back. What else? So, excuse me, y'all. Angel understood where Quad was coming from. And I really loved when King said what a lot of us were thinking, which is we're sick of watching it. I'm sick of watching this stupidity transpiring between Quad and Simone. It's tired. It's through. It is just on its last. It's not even on. It's not on any legs. It's on the ground. Actually, it's bottomed out. We're sick of hearing about it. And if I was Quad after, honestly, what Simone pulled at the last 2 reunions, I wouldn't have else to say to her. I wouldn't. And at that point, it would be just Simone's beef with Simone. I wouldn't have to say to her because there's certain barriers you do not cross, whether or not we are at odds. There's just certain things that I feel like certain territories we shouldn't step into if you are somebody that considered me a friend at one point and vice versa. And I feel like Simone's a perpetual overstepper when it comes to that principle. And it is because of that I am just not able to live up to one of the things I always say. You guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I always like to start new seasons on a clean slate. I want to let beefs be beefs or past beefs be past beefs. But when it comes to this, Simone, I'm never going to see it for her again. I really don't think I will, because that's just, it speaks to her own like character. Honestly, it does. Anyway, so apparently in the group chat, Simone said happy birthday to Quad, and Quad responded with saying basically, she brought up the comment that Simone made about the mortgage of it all and stuff like that. So again, if I was Quad, I would feel the same exact way. But she did follow it up with extending an invitation to Simone and Cecil. We know that Cecil is very fond of Quad, so I'm sure he wanted to go. I'm sure he would have went, honestly, but Simone wasn't going to have it. And at the same time, I will say that extending an invitation to somebody 2 hours prior is not something that I would do, nor is it something that I would take part in, because clearly I'm an afterthought. And if you didn't think about me when you sent out the initial invitations, don't worry about sending me one after the fact. That's just not who I am. So I get it. But again, 2 things can be true at the same time. Y'all know I love to say that. Anyway, at the same time, we have Simone and Jackie over there having one of their little, doctor ladies do lunch or whatever. And so did you guys peep Jackie's sneaker heels? Has she wore those before? I was here for the sneaker heels. I'm not really much of a sneaker heel person, but if I was in that profession, I would probably have some sneaker heels too. That's very on brand for Jackie. We love to see it. Anyway, Jackie asked Simone if she's talked to Quad, and Simone claims that she's disappointed in her behavior from last season's reunion. I don't think so at all. I really don't. Again, I think that is just truly who she is on the inside, but I digress. And Jackie, like I said, asked her if she's talked to Quad. Simone is expressing her disappointment in her behavior, but she says that at the same time, playing victim frustrates her so bad. So if you come over here, you should probably play nice. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't come to my playground. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so Simone also talks about how she was offended that Quad extended that invite, like I said before, 2 hours prior. And I will say Jackie made me laugh in this moment, because when production asked her when she was extended her invitation, we find out that it was 2 weeks prior to. So Jackie was like, I plead the fifth. I ain't trying to be in it. And I do understand why she took that approach. I do. And Simone also brings up how the whole catalyst, I guess, behind what she said is because prior to that YouTube clip, a YouTube video or whatever, she says that she was offended by Quad saying in an interview that she picked Simone for traitors, and she supposedly has so much more to say about Quad. So pretty much if Quad keeps poking the bear, she will just go ahead and spill it all out. See, that's what I mean. That's your character. For someone like me, once they prove to not be a friend to me, I'm not going to go out of my way to air them out or anything like that. And it's not because no scary or anything like that. It's just like certain things just are not worth the energy. And on one hand, I feel like the doctors, the Simones, the Jackies of it all, they want to be held to this like higher standard. But I feel like every time Simone gets a chance to do some low down gutter snipe, she does. So not really understanding that there. And as for Quad saying that she would pick Simone for traitors, she didn't specifically call her a traitor. I get the implication, but since we're in the day and age where Traitors is a popular show, that a lot of the Bravo celebrities, a lot of the housewives go on, I don't feel like there was anything wrong with saying that. She could have meant that she wants to see her on there as a faithful, for all we know. She could have been just trying to, extend an additional bag out to somebody that she regarded as a friend, because last time we checked, Simone was over there taking care of 3 grown-ass men. So I said it. Oh, well. Anyway, I just don't think that those two matched up. I don't think that something like a superficial comment like what Quad made matched the intensity behind what Simone said on that lady's freaking YouTube channel. I don't. And if you guys disagree, please let me know. I would love to hear from it, but I don't see how those two matched up at all. I really don't, y'all. Anyway, over at the Harris household, we got our first glimpse of this $3+ million house that Toya and Eugene have now moved into. It's over 5,200 square feet. It's a 5-bed, 5.5 bath. Beautiful home. Cannot lie about that one bit. Her boys are getting really big. She's teaching her oldest how to drive. They're cooking and stuff. Like, they are growing up, most definitely. We love to see it. We love to see the kids that we've been seeing for seasons and seasons and seasons growing up and just doing all the things and spreading their wings and all that. So that was nice to see. But you know what wasn't too nice for me to see, at least? And I mean, at the same time, I'm on the fence about it. And what I'm referring to is the fact that we find out that for the past 6 months, Eugene has been working in a location that is either 2.5 hours or 5 hours away. And yeah, like 5 hours away, still in Georgia, but he is there for 5 days out of the week. And 5 days out of the week, And so because he's there for that amount of time, he actually is getting like hotels and stuff. So he's staying there. So he's really split his time in between the two and between the two locations here. And one question, I'm like, what happened to the little clinic situation he had last season or whatever, that he when he stepped away from the ER or whatever? I thought he had his own situation going. So is that still a thing, or is it not? Where he was given like the injections and GLP-1s and stuff like that, I guess. What happened to that? 2, I get it's more money. I see nothing wrong with wanting to make more, especially in this economy. I got it. But we do know that Toya at this point in time technically makes more than he does, which doesn't mean that he wasn't making a substantial amount. On one hand, Toya's like kind of complaining a little bit that he's not home. But on the other hand, quite frankly, I don't really think she's that bothered. I think it's more of an act, honestly. And that's not to say that she doesn't love her husband, or they, don't want to be together, nothing like that, or there's trouble in paradise, as much as I feel like Toya is not as codependent as she like comes off in these moments. That's another thing. And my final thing is, what is the end goal exactly? We know everybody's always poking fun of the fact that they've moved a million times since being on the show. And I'm all of the belief that if there's anything in your life, y'all, that you want to change, by all means, go change it. But moving to a new house every other season, him now working 5+ hours away, he ain't getting no younger. That can be very strenuous. Yeah, you get to write it off on your taxes, I guess, the travel and stuff like that. But what is the end goal exactly? That's just where I get a little confused. Where is the end goal? Because why would you, like, I just can't understand it. I really can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Beautiful home, like I said before. Love Toya's Bob in a confessional, but I'm just really trying to know what their end goal is. I want to say in another interview they did, it was revealed that Toya is the one who like funds their like trips and different things like that. But I mean, that's actually not even a necessity necessarily. So again, their relationship with money and my relationship with money, I guess, are two different relationships. And I'm not the one to penny pinch, or not penny pinch, but pocket watch, I should say. But it's just like, girl, what is going on? That, and we also can't forget that Toya is notoriously the main one on this show that no matter how many seasons she's been on the show, Mama just refuses to capitalize on her platform. So you really don't, that's another reason why you don't get to complain. Even if the complaints are real, you don't get to complain, Toya, because you could be doing more so that he wouldn't feel inclined to have to work 5 hours away. Am I making sense, y'all? I don't know. Maybe my ideas are skewed, but I really don't think they are. I'm just not quite understanding. It's giving insatiable, honestly. Anyway, over at Contessa and Scott's house, they got another interesting situation too, because we find out that they purchased a building for $1.2 million back in 2023. And since then, it has gone under at least $400,000 worth of construction. And at this point in time, they're about 4 months past the construction deadline, which, I mean, I've never opened up a brick and mortar business yet, speaking it into existence, y'all. However, I have both this house that I'm in now and my other home in North Carolina were both new constructions. And I remember from there, from both of these situations, that construction can take anywhere from months earlier to months later. You just never really know, especially with the access to materials and stuff, and these tariffs and all these different things and stuff right now. It is a little bit more difficult, I would say, I want to say, yeah, my house in North Carolina, there was like a lumber delay or something, because this is right around COVID too, when we got the house and everything. So I say all that to say, like, I get that can kind of be like another factor to consider. But you know what else I think is another factor to consider, or they should be considering? The fact that Contessa be working like a workhorse over there, and Scott's bragging about how he just got home early and was been watching the game. Granted, some people are just natural workaholics. That's just who they are. It's not because they have to or whatever. It's just something like intrinsically that they like in some intrinsic like competition with themselves or whatever. That's on them. I get that. But at the same time, it's weird to watch. It's weird to watch. And that's why I feel justified in coming at Toya, because it don't matter. It don't matter which spouse it's on. My principle, my philosophy really just is the same. I don't know why. Like Scott, what are you doing over there? Like, huh? Because this is y'all's building, right? This is y'all's practice, all those types of things. And it just seems like Contessa probably takes on more of the collateral duties than he does. And you're gonna burn yourself out. You are gonna burn yourself out. I'm telling you. They like have to liquidate assets and do all these different things because they paid for it in cash, and they're gonna make that back. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm sure it's up and running and everything is all good over there right now, and I wish them nothing but success. However, it is a little strange to see. It is a little strange to see when we talk about it from that perspective. Anyway, whatever. What else happened? This is when the Sanders, because Dr. Mimi and Steve, right? Yeah, they're back for another season. And we see them sending out these invitations for their Polo Classic event, which I can't wait to go to one of these. I've been to like the horse races and stuff like that, but I want to go to like a Polo Classic type of event. I really do. I got to make that happen sooner rather than later. I want to wear the little cute outfits and stuff. Y'all know I live for the fashions. If you guys, especially if you guys follow me on my Instagram, my TikTok, things like that. I live for a theme. I love to dress up for a theme. And speaking of my social media accounts, if you're not following, they have been scrolling along the bottom of the screen. So make sure you follow me there, subscribe there, do all the things, y'all. That's the episode. So those invitations are going out. Quad receives her invitation. I don't know if it was last season. I don't know if it was the reunion. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I was already privy to the fact that Quad and Dr. Mimi have been developing a certain rapport and have been going out, and that they really are forging this new friendship. I love to see it. I'm sure they're really fun to hang out with. I mean, we know Quad is always a good time, and Dr. Mimi lets us know that, yeah, she might be Dr. Mimi by day, but it's a whole other. Mama lets her hair down after 5 o'clock, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And the event actually was really cute. They did a really good job, if I do say so myself. And we know, between like the Married to Medicines and the Bravo housewives of it all, we know that an event can be one of two ways. And I will say, good job on that. They like to host. They were living up north previously, if I can remember correctly. But so now that they're really getting integrated in the group, they can now start to like host different things. And I'm like thinking to myself when I'm watching this scene too, because I'm also somebody who really loves to host. My husband and I, we love to host our friends and do different things like that. So that's something that I could definitely empathize with. And Simone, or Dr. Mimi, actually asked Quad if her and Simone have talked. And Quad pretty much reiterates what she said earlier in the episode. And to my surprise, Mimi, she just accepted it. And she didn't try to make any type of psychological interventions or anything or nothing like that. And I feel like that speaks volumes, especially being like she wasn't coming off like a know-it-all last season to me, but she definitely brought her professionalism, yeah, professional expertise, I feel like, to situations. So and maybe that's what she wanted her integration into the group to be, to lead with professionalism. And then now that you guys know that I am really about my business, maybe now she's like, okay, now you can see, you know, what's underneath the white coat. Like, I guess maybe that's what she was doing. Or maybe again, it's because they've just been, again, making that rapport and are actually starting to develop a friendship to where she knows that yeah, like she's just trying to be a friend at the end of the day. I like that. Because last time we checked, Mom was over here talking about some. Remember when they were on the sandbar freaking outing that turned into hell in a handbasket last season? Y'all remember? She talking about some, your covenant. This is your marriage, your covenant. And I was like, okay, relax. I wonder if she still talks to that Ninja Turtle and his wife. Probably not. Anyway, moving right along. And I'm interested to see their family dynamic too. Steve and Mimi. Move right along. Toya goes over to Simone's to get ready for the party. But first, you know, she has to grill her on talking about Quad to the ex-wife. Like I said before, just straight up crazy to me. And then we have Simone claiming that, you know, she hasn't been Quad's friend in a long time. I'm like, noted. I hope that Quad really watches these things back and just stops trying to put forth the effort. And I feel like she's only doing that obviously because of the show. But I'm like, as a viewer, Quad, I'm okay with you not wanting to repair things with Simone, or just saying like, yeah, we can be cordial, we can keep it cute, you know, for the sake of the show. But we, like you said, we're not friends, right? Because I feel like when Simone said that, it was stemming from something beyond just those two incidents that occurred between them two. I really do. Simone really does have a deep-seated issue with Quad. I'm sorry, y'all. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm the last person to just throw out there the jealousy card. But what else could it possibly be at this point? It's like she's always looking for something to dislike Quad about. And it just seems like it all comes down to just her person, her as a person. And it's because it's potentially because they live two very different lives. Anyway, what else? Cecil also brings up the only other stone that's left unturned in the group, which is how Jackie may feel some type of way based on what Toya said in a recent interview about Curtis having had his hands on a couple different wastes on the show, with her being one of them. And if you guys watched in the earlier seasons, and they showed us where Curtis grabbed Toya and placed her on his lap. I forget what they were talking about, but that did happen. Toya didn't just hop on his lap just for shits and giggles. That was by Curtis's doing. But for some odd reason, and we get into it later, a little bit later on in the final scene at the party and stuff like that, Jackie had all of the smoke and all of the energy burst towards Toya, when Toya wouldn't have said that if your husband didn't give her the action to talk about. Like, come on, y'all. That's what happened. And like I said, Toya is the person I could take or leave. And a lot of times I'd be like, okay, Toya, be quiet. But on this, I have to call a spade a spade. That's what happened. So Toya Jackie really just needs to be upset with her husband. And honestly, that's probably what it was. It was probably her upset because she's reminded that I done took this man back, and I probably shouldn't have did that. And I'm still mad at what he did. It had me out here on the blogs looking crazy AF because he was down there at the airport with another woman, not just the airport, y'all. Excuse me. The busiest airport in the world with another woman. What are we talking about here? I think it's always going to be some displaced anger when it comes to Jackie and that whole situation. But anyway, and Toya, she's like, I just answered the question honestly. And instead of Jackie bringing it up to her issue with Jackie is that she said it in a group text. And so this is something that could have just been strictly reserved between them two. Instead of just putting it out there in front of the whole group as if you want other people to jump in it. I feel like Toya was on point with that too, because Jackie is messy, y'all. Some of you guys might not want to see it. Some of you guys might not want to believe it, but Jackie is messy. And the way she does it is through either other people, the heavenlies of the group, or she has a way of doctoring it up, no pun intended, to be delivered in a way that doesn't seem as outwardly messy, but it is mess and shade. It is. She be right there complicit with it too. And then Toya brings up she draws a connection between what's been happening on social media as well during this time, which last season I don't think I strictly came up here just to report on that solely, but I do remember mentioning at some point or another how it did break that Dr. Heavenly's oldest son, Damon Jr., was supposedly arrested. Don't know why, still don't know why, or I never cared to look into it further than that, but that was circulating. And because the nature of this show, the nature of these types of shows, I knew that it would probably come up next season. Did I know at that time that Heavenly wouldn't be as full-time as a cast member? No, it didn't. But just because I cannot sit up here and try to be biased in y'all's faces, I have to say, in regard to that, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And yes, Heavenly, you have been somebody who's inserted yourself and spoke on different situations, whether that be about the kids or not the kids or whatever, even though it's a grown man at this point. No matter what it is, you've had something to say and a role to play in a lot of different things that have transpired on this show. So now it's your turn to eat some humble pie, or it's your turn to, face the music, however you guys want to slice and dice it. It's that time, and you just got to own it. You got to own it. I want to say she did her and Carlos did like an interview or whatever. I didn't watch that. Didn't watch it. Maybe I'll go ahead and watch it after this, but I'm curious. I'm curious if you asked her about that. I'm curious what she has to say about that. I'm just curious, and clearly based on the trailers and the previews for the season, clearly it's not going to be the last time this is brought up. Was Toya trying to make fetch happen? Like I said at the beginning of this video, yes, she was. She definitely was, but I can't even get angry at her because, like I said, Heavenly has played a role in how things have been talked about and transpired on this show before. She definitely has. In addition, when it comes to Toya, especially, Heavenly has said a lot of colorful things about Toya. So is it something I would do? No, because my character is just set up differently. However, I can understand that on a show like this, somebody might use that stone to cast back in Heavenly's direction. It's the name of the game on here. So wasn't surprised that this is coming back up. Cecil tries to steer the conversation back into a better direction. So we'll see. We'll see if this sisterhood is built back up or not. Anyway, moving along to the final scene, y'all. It was the Sanders Polo Classic. It's obvious that pretty much everybody has seen each other, at least at Quad's party a couple of days before. Everybody's pretty much seen each other except for obviously Simone and Cecil, I guess, by proxy. So Contessa also tells Jackie and Mimi how she really feels, which is that the 2 hours prior invitation was shady. And she's like, you wouldn't truly want a person there if that's what you do. And I mean, I do understand that. And Quad's better than me. I wouldn't extend the shit to her. Sorry. Oh, well, it is what it is. We do meet the other new nurse practitioner. So Angel's a nurse. And then we have a new nurse practitioner by the name of Brandi. She's joined the cast. I love to see it. We need more nurses and different individuals joining the cast that are in different type of medical professions. Good job, bravo. And we also meet her husband. Brandi is introduced as Toya's friend. And so Jackie informs Toya that Heavenly won't be there because she's running for office, or as Heavenly must have said frankly to Jackie, that it ain't, none of anybody's business why she's not there. Again, Heavenly, you got to know that it's your turn. It's your turn to sit on a hot seat about it. And again, this is coming from somebody who I said at the beginning of this live that I miss Heavenly's energy in this episode. I did, but I can't be biased and say that, just because it's somebody that I quote unquote like, that they can't also get the business too, because they can. Sorry. But Mimi was really funny. She was not trying to have any of these things popping off at her event. And I'm like, I know that's right, because it looked like they put a pretty little coin behind that event. So you're not about to tear my shit up. Sorry, you can go do it on somebody else's watch, is really what Mimi wanted to say. Anyway, and I love that Mimi didn't, like Toya was really going hard trying to bring up these different issues about the Damon Jr.'s recent arrest. And she's really trying to get some of the other ladies, I feel like, to join in on talking about this whole thing. And I love that Mimi didn't bite. She did not take the bait. I'm like, good job on that. And also, I want to say this is around the time that Toya mentioned to Jackie that Curtis didn't say anything to her. So it's clear that he's still upset about what Toya said on, was that on Watch What Happens Live or whatever interview. He's still upset about that. But my whole thing is, and the way that Jackie tried to flip it and make it seem like Toya willingly like sat on his lap, and it was really not as crazy as she tried to make it seem or anything like that, was total bullshit. It was total bullshit. And at the same time, I love that Jackie couldn't back down from the fact that, yeah, you want to talk about, this doesn't paint his character in a good life. It's not a good representation of his character. And Toya was like, yeah, today, because he's done other things that have made himself look crazy as hell and made you look crazy as hell too. So we're talking about today, right? And I love that Jackie didn't shy away from what Toya was insinuating when she said that. Yeah, today. It is what it is. It is what it is. And Toya, I don't think that Jackie should apologize. Like, I don't really understand what she was asking for an apology for. Other than Jackie saying that she sat in her lap, I don't think it's really something that needed an apology as much as it is something that Jackie just shouldn't have said and should have realized, like, no, that was actually exactly not how it happened. I love when Quad was like, I'm fine, but that Angel baby is fine. I was like, ain't she though? She sure is. But before Quad could even make her way into the party, Simone was already starting BS, y'all. She's claiming that, Quad likes to make grand entrances, which may be true. Not gonna lie, it might be true. But again, that was an unnecessary comment from Simone, it really just makes Simone look like she's the one that's bothered, quite honestly. Again, is it jealousy? I guess the world may never know. What else? And I really didn't like how, because you guys know you're not on good terms, I don't like how Simone like tried to get all up in Quad's face. She was kidding, of course, but like don't do me like that, because you you are liable to get the shit slapped out of you if you think that you can come up in my face doing whatever, because I don't know. You already said that we're not friends. We haven't been friends in a long time. So people that are not my friends are not allowed to be in my inner space. So again, she's lucky. She's lucky. She's lucky. She's lucky. You know what else rubbed me the wrong way? And I'm sure it probably rubbed a lot of people the wrong way if you felt the same in regard to a lot of the tacky ass shit she's done before. Getting back on Jackie's case. Jackie, why, like, what made you think that it was okay to like bring up that girl's thyroid issues? Like, how do you know she didn't know she had, like, she knew or didn't know about that? You're saying it in front of other people. You're also somebody who had to face the music about different things that you've said in the past. Buffy, you know, saying different things on Heavenly's channel and stuff like that. What would make you think that that is something that you should have said? Like, for real. Who does that? I love that Brandi came into the situation prepared, and I guess I have to give kudos to Toya for putting her on game as far as how you know Jackie and these ladies can be. She was prepared, and you know she acknowledged what Jackie said and stuff like that. But I just thought that was so tacky, and Simone caught it. Angel caught it. Mimi caught, like everybody who's standing right there caught it. Was like literally like it was a record stop moment, y'all. If you guys watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. Like, huh? But Brandi played it cute. She really did, because if it had been anybody else, it may have not gone down like that, Jackie. Just being for real. What else? I also, again, Toya trying to make fetch happen, talking about, oh yeah, this is Mimi and her clique over here or whatever. Yeah, she was like, ooh, maybe I heard you got a clique, because she was over there with Quad and Angel and whoever. And I love that Mimi was like, click no, like first of all, like I'm team me, like I'm team Mimi, and secondly, I can't, you know, help if certain personalities gravitate towards other personalities. I'm like, that makes perfect sense to me. But anyway, what else? It is all about how you vibe with, period. And then Simone opens up the floor to all the ladies by posing a question of, you know, in the event that they received an invitation 2 hours prior, would they feel justified, or would they attend the event? And Quad, obviously she knows what Simone is referring to. Since we're taking it there, okay, I'll go ahead and say no. I wouldn't have done that. But she's also like, she wouldn't have said that type of stuff that Simone said to even cause her to feel like that. And you know, I hadn't heard from you anyway. Like, girl, like let's not start in the middle. Let's start in the beginning. Is I think where Quad was coming from. I love that Cecil and King were pretty much on the same page though about us not wanting to hear about this shit. I genuinely, I would love for you guys to drop the comments and let me know. Are you down to see this happen for the rest of the season? I'm really not. I am so sick of the Simone and Quad of it all. I think it is so tired. I think, like Mimi just said, certain personalities mesh with certain personalities and get along with other personalities, and some just don't. And I think that those are two ladies that are not meant to be friends, not meant to be friendly. One stay on this side, the other one stay on this side. Don't make it weird for us viewers to watch, but don't make it weird for us viewers to watch also while you guys continue to try to come back together and salvage something. Or I shouldn't even say salvage something, because Simone mentioned in this episode, she knows good and well that they can never get back to what they were. They can only forge anew. We don't even fuck the forging anew. Just I don't cut cut. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I really don't. I really don't. I really, really don't, y'all. That is really going to put a damper on a season that can be so great, in my opinion. And I say it could be so great because we got the dead weight up off this show. Woo! Yes, we did. We did. But unfortunately, it's like that type of storyline is just going to bring us back down, and it's going to make certain people not want to watch. Just being real. So that better not take center stage over everything else. I want to hear some new shit. I do. But in the end, I mean, Simone said what she said, Quad said what she said. I guess, we shall see. Simone, I don't care about your crocodile tears. I don't care about none of that. We'll see. We'll see what happens, y'all. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. I gave you my rating on this episode in the beginning. I would love to know your rating on this episode. How do you feel? Do you think is it giving? Was it giving? What really stood out to you in this premiere? And what do you think about what drama we have gotten in just this one episode? Like, what do you think? And what are your predictions? I want to hear it all. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.